Top of the morning, traders, and happy Thursday, February 10th, and welcome to the most value packed live trading show, where we live trade, break down charts, cover high impact events, and talk trader mindset. Hope everyone had a great day yesterday and is ready to kick off another opportunity-filled day. If you missed yesterday's episode, make sure to go back and watch to get caught up. If you're a first-time viewer, make sure to subscribe. Long-time viewers, take the next steps, join our community to access the pre-market prep stream to get you ready for the day. We go over tickers, we go over the game plan in detail, and so much more. So we're officially open here. We're going to open up in the heart of yesterday's range. The upside breakers up here. So right out the gate, we're starting to see some buying here. Okay, all the indexes starting to go. There goes the Dow. Look at the Dow, guys. Dow's above PMH already. Dow's above PMH. Dow made another all-time high here. The Dow broke out of that box. I got PMH at 693.03. I got PMH at 693.03. Let me fix this. 693.03. Feel free to put your PMH levels in the chat to make sure someone else has the same levels as you. It can be different on brokers and platforms. I got here. I got 696.50. 696.50. We're officially open. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's get the likes up. Let's get 20 likes, 20 to 30 likes in the first hour. Between 9:30 and 10:30, we can get 20, 30 likes. If you're a first-time viewer, let us know where you're joining from. Answer the poll question, bullish or bearish, first hour of the day. So far, 100% of the chat is bullish. 100% of the chat is bullish. Gap update, thank you for the update. Yeah, I still have the coupon for TradingView, guys. If you want a discount on TradingView, $15 discount, that's in the Discord. All right, I don't have a lot of affiliate links, but TradingView I do have. You say 15, I say 15. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. I believe I do have a code for Webull as well. Webull offers codes from time to time for anyone that has not opened up, does not have a Webull account yet. They always have some favorable promos. So you can find the discount code thesis. If you go here, promo codes right here. Promo codes. Yeah, Webull has a 4% match here. I think that's for the first time. People who join for the first time or open up an account. 4% match. Of course, read the details. But Webull is the primary broker that I do use for scalping. I don't use it for long-term or anything, but for scalping, I do like it. User-friendly. Fairly straightforward. Okay, we're trading within prior day's range. The Dow out the gate is the first one to go. The Dow out the gate is the first one to go. The Dow out the gate is the first one to go. Let me take this with me real quick right here. So far, right off the open, Palantir's up 1%. Tesla's up 1%. Tesla's above 420. Netflix up 2%. Netflix wants to crack that 83, potentially pushing to 85. MU's down another 2% today. So MU's providing those dips, right? So MSTR down 2.5. XYZ up 1.9. Oracle down 2.5. Up 2.5, 2.2. So the setups right now, right, is basically you're waiting for reversal signals or you're trying to take continuations back the upside. What am I waiting for here? I'm waiting for us to get above that level, potentially get back into that PML territory. I want to see if we interact with those highs and lows. We're starting to see the Qs give up some of that, some of the gains from off the open. Qs PMH is 616.44. The only one above PMH currently is the Dow. We're starting to see IW starting to push. 5-minute orb will be set. here in a few seconds. So the bottom of the orb break is right at that VWAP. Just want to make you aware. And that candle so far, that first 5-minute candle, is looking like a shooter. So you get that structural break possibly. Okay, I like how we're starting to push. VIX is starting to wake up here. VIX is starting to wake up. So I do like how the contracts are relatively back to some level of normalcy. Okay, last week they were moving with vengeance. They were moving with vengeance. See if we can get a nice break below these lows, get below that daily open. If we get synchronized selling, that would be great. I like how the VIX is going north. 5-minute orb, you're waiting for this break here, depending on your entry model, right? If you're take the break, you take the break. Your risk can be that daily open. Just be mindful, VWAP is right there. VIX is starting to push nicely. IW is going north. IW did break those highs. IW is trying to get above that PMH. Qs are still inside on that 5-minute range. Qs are still inside. See if we can hold this territory. We do have some room to go if we can hold. If we can hold, I'll be there for the retrace reject. Love how the VIX is showing some signs of weakness, signs of strength. Okay, nice break. Okay, there we go. Hold below VWAP 694.78. There goes the Qs. That's going to help it. If we get one more little push back the upside, I'll take it to the downside. If you're already in, you're in for the win. Manage accordingly. TP where you need to. So once that structure broke out below that daily open, we start to see the VIX basically shoot out of a rocket. All right. We saw that nice little slide. We're moving about 57 cents per 5-minute candle, so we're not moving as aggressively as Thursday and Friday. But we are moving nicely here. If you did take that, manage accordingly. The fact that the Qs are falling off a cliff helps. Okay, Qs are below the orb as well. So more than the orb, this was a breakdown here. Got below that daily open. Failed to hold above that VWAP. Right, so you can see how it coincides with a lot of things and a spike on the VIX. That right there is, if you're on the orb army there, that's a 70-cent move. Okay, so depending on your contracts, that should be over $30 per con, $30 to $40 per con. More, depending on what contracts you have and if you're still in the position. And you don't catch that. Holding last two runners. Beautiful job. Beautiful, beautiful job, hero. Same as you, okay? We're at that 694 right here. So see folks jumping off that 694. Structural break, beautiful. We're seeing synchronized selling. Look at that trap on the IWM, gets above PMH and completely traps all those longs and dumps. What does this want to pursue? We do have PML down here. We do have PML. So now let's see if enough buyers can step in off of that 694 to create some sort of for another leg lower. That's the best bet. So the first cohort of traders, the break traders, take it. All right. So the retest traders, no entry. The pullback traders, no entry quite yet. Okay. 694. See if 694 causes us to potentially get a nice little bounce. Keep in mind, we're still internal to that range, okay? We are internal to that range. Okay, nice bounce off 694. That's a good TP if you're in those shorts. Now, if you're waiting for pullbacks, this is where you get activated. All right, so now I want the same thing to remain true. I want this nice little bounce, not to be a reversal, get back above these levels. I want it to come back in and show that continued weakness. Show that continued weakness. 15-minute ORM, you're still on hold here. If you trade after the first 30 minutes, right, you're still just in observation mode. So nice little bounce off that 694. There goes IWM taking out those lows. So this opportunity was basically from 694.80 all the way to 694 and below 694. So more than 80 cents of runway. So you can easily capitalize off that for nice, healthy double-digit gain. So congratulations to everyone who caught that to the downside. Holding two runners. Good, good, good. Beautiful job, guys. Out because of early candles. Didn't capture as much. I wanted to be absolutely. Great job, guys. Good, good, good. How are we doing on YouTube? Make sure to like the video on YouTube, guys. Make sure to like the video. We got 34 people on the check-in in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from. Let's get the likes up. Let's get 30 likes. We can do that. Okay, nice little bounce off that 694. So let's see if that leads us to those lows. Okay, there goes the Qs. There goes the Qs. If we drop down to the 1, drop down to the 1 real quick. Okay. See, get that nice continued break after rejecting off that VWAP. So for me to go short, right, this short very, very near those lows, right. Might have to get a nice little pop. This was a nice pop. Didn't quite come to that territory. You can't take that 2-on-2 lower. So what if you're trying to get that 694? What you're trying to capture is from 694 to that PML. Okay, 694 to PML. I like how the VIX is having some fuel here. See if you get one little bounce into 691, bounce into 694. I'll take it lower. If you took this, great job. Or see some clean moves off the open, guys. Clean moves off the open. 15-minute candle, as bearish as can be. The Qs falling off a cliff. Qs are below PML now. The Dows. So if we're going back to that rotation story, so we're kind of rotating back into the Dow. All right, so we rotate into software, rotate into the semiconductors. Now we're rotating back out, right? Which could be a dead cat bounce. So whenever you have that key level, you let lead to a nice little bounce. You fade the pop. There goes IW, guys. IW is below PML as well. Nice structural break. And you want to take that second push lower. But look at the candles. So if you don't have that entry, you get this one candle. It's starting to get a little aggressive, right? It's starting to get very aggressive. Okay. All right, to kick things off, that movement is looking very reminiscent. At Thursday and Friday, 3 for 3 green. If you're green up to now, tremendous job. So got that nice little breakdown there. Another breakdown here as well. And congratulations to the ones taking profits. Okay, if you're taking those profits, you're doing well. See if that 694 can hold. So this is the room to operate. Okay, 694 rejection. See if that continue push lower. 15-minute orb armory. You're on the clock in less than a minute. So far we're seeing synchronized selling between the Qs and SPY. We're seeing the Qs starting to wick back above PML. See if it reclaims 694. Or it continues to reject off it. So the orb, 15-minute orb, right? These are your lows. Okay. So not only was this a breakdown of the 5-minute orb, but it was a structural breakdown, and then eventually fall back below that open, and it continued slide. So far no trades, but there were some nice opportunities. We're starting to see the Qs wick. Nice hammer on the Qs. If the Qs get above 614.28, we can possibly start to see a 5-minute reversal. If they get below that 612.64, continue to push back the downside. Okay. Continue to push back the downside. 694 rejection was nice. See if that candle can hold. If it can, I'll take it to the downside. I like how the Dow the VIX is still pumping. Okay, I'll take it right there. I'll take the puts right there. Okay, I'm in the puts here. So I want us to stay below 694. Okay, I like how the Qs are going. So I don't want the Qs to go 2 down, 2 up. Now I want some follow through behind this candle to the downside. So my entry is a little away from that level. So I'm keeping a close eye on that 694. So my entry might feel like down here. So I don't want to close above here. No close above there. Get a close above there. We'll get stopped out. I want the VIX to continue to push higher in this case. VIX continue to push higher. And I want the Qs to start to drop as well. You did take this, manage accordingly. Down 7. Down 10. If we get that close above it, I'll close out. I don't want that to turn into a reclaim. Okay, see if I can sit through that. I want that to wick back the downside. No close so far. 15-minute orb. Those lows are 693.46. So no expansion back the upside. Reclaim. I don't want to see a reclaim. Okay, I'm out there. I'll get stopped out there. I don't want that continued push. If we get back below it, I'll get back in. So stopped out there on that last little candle. And we can get back below it. If we get another close back below it, I'll take it again. So stopped out on those puts. Nice little shake out there. Okay, I like that candle, but I don't want to get a fill at the very bottom of that candle. I might be forced to take it there. Nice shake out there. I just got shaken out. Okay, I like how that's bouncing. See if we can get that push back lower. So a lot of buyers protecting the levels here. All right, so it did get stopped out here. And then now starting to push. VWAP 694.45. Might have been a little late to the party there. The Qs are still inside on the 5. The Dow ripping and roaring to the upside. IW reversing already. Right, so this might be a little too close to those lows to give another attempt. If you're looking for 5-minute reversal back the upside above that 5-minute candle's high, if we wick back below it, if we get another wick, I can give another shot. Okay, I'll take it right there. I'm back in the puts. Again, not the best fill. Seeing some aggressive action in this territory. So you get that nice little drop. I keep getting filled down here. So again, same thing. Same thing as earlier. Stopped out the first time. Might not have as much wiggle room. Same thing, we'll let it play out. So you get that full breakdown into the orb. I like how the Qs broke those lows. Go, go, go. See if we can take it into this territory and eventually that PML. If we close above this box here, then I get to stop that once again. Down 8, down 10. No close back above it. Okay, I gotta get out of there. Okay, stopped out there. Stopped out there for about 16. Okay, so sellers couldn't push it any lower. So 2 stop outs on the puts. Couldn't get any follow through behind the move. Might have been a little overextended to the downside. And 2 stop outs. Okay, so nice stop out there. I wanted to see if there was some follow through behind it into those lows. No follow through. So again, not losing context. I still understand that we're within that PML and PMH, PML. We're within that prior day's range. Primary thing was here, right here, to see if we can hold below it. The fact that we can hold below it, stopped out. And of course, the other side of the orb is all the way up there. Anything internal, I'll try to avoid. Anything internal, I'll try to avoid. Okay, see if he wants to get back to that daily open. Daily open being that 694.95. If we zoom out just for a second here, right, I might have been shorting into the jaws of that trampoline territory. Right, might have been asking for a little bit more. For the ones who are in the 15-minute orb army, there's nothing for you to do. You didn't get any triggers. No triggers, no trade. 5-minute orb army, that breakdown was nice. If you took advantage of that early bird got the worm at that time. We're seeing that reversal on the 5 on the Qs, on SPY as well. So timely stop there. Timely stop. Make sure to like the video on YouTube, guys. We have 41 people on the check-in. Make sure to like the video. How are we doing so far? Inverse head and shoulder possibly setting up. I can see that. Dump it. Sniper. 3-3 green. Good. If you're green out of this ordeal, tremendous job. I mean, in this case, gave it 2 attempts. Had to manage that risk. Didn't want to see that continued push higher above this level. And stopped out. And again, a good stop out because I don't want to get in the way of a reclaim. And this could easily go from minus 15, 16 all the way to minus 60, 70, 80. Okay, so looking for 695.13 for next TP. This is a nice reversal back to the upside. You might actually have a nice early seat hero. You might actually be still early in that push higher, especially if you got that break above 694.23. Right, so once I saw that reclaim take place above 694, right, got to be wrong and not be wrong for long. So now we're back at that, and 694 is not really a key level, to be honest. Okay, we're back at that daily open. So we're about to flip the day back to the green side. Back to the green side or what to flip the day. VIX pulling back slightly. Nice reverse on the Qs. Back at VWAP. See if you can reclaim that VWAP, which we did on SPY. Hold above it would be great. Now we're starting to push back to the upside. IWM is right at that PML. All right, so no real key level in that territory. So I have to be very, very quick and be wrong. Now we're back on the other side of the orb, 695.54. 695.54, we're above that daily open. So this is a key level. Now the orb is right there, 695.54. We have that daily upside breaker here as well. And we have PMH all the way up there. So do we have enough fuel? Do we have enough fuel to continue to push? Do we have enough fuel? Do we have enough fuel to continue to push higher? Let's get the likes up on YouTube. So far, 82% in the chat thinks we're going to make that nice push into ATH today. A nice bounce off trampoline. All right, nice bounce off trampoline here. If you kind of look at it. All right. Okay, nice. That's probably the best thing that I did so far, guys, is cut the puts there. Okay, 15-minute orb army. You're on the clock. You got that break. You got that ripple. So you get that continued push higher. So you get that continued push higher. Daily upside breaker is right there. Just be mindful that the rejection zone is there. PMH can be your runway there between that daily upside breaker, 694.86 and 696.50. If you can hold above the orb. If you're waiting for that break at 696, 695.86, you can use the orb as your risk. And I want to emphasize the importance of risk management in this case. All right. So in this case, wrong directionally, 2 attempts, cut the trade. If not, it turns into a mess. Everything is firing on all cylinders back the upside. IWM reversing back the upside. Qs pushing back the upside. The Dow pushing back the upside as well. So everything is essentially in continuation mode. Let me take this off real quick so you can see that. Take this off. That is the 15-minute orb up there. Ripple. So you get that continued break. Get above that daily upside breaker. 695.86. That's that first level that's in your way. If you can get above that, we'll be good to go. Okay, or it looks like the IWM is about to take out that PM, that VWAP. Okay, see if that continue push. Break of that daily upside breaker. I like how the VIX is falling off a cliff. That's going to give it some room to go. That's going to give it room to go. It's going to give it some room to go. It's going to give it some room. Go, go, go. That so far has been 53 cents. If you're at a 50-cent risk, that's a 1-to-1. See if you can pull back just a little bit or come back for that retest. ATH, okay, just to give you a reminder, ATH is not too far away. We're about $1.84 away. $1.84 away. If you're waiting for that 5-minute close above that daily upside breaker, 695.86, and the orb, about to get that close. Like how the VIX continues to slide to the downside. So it's still within the first 30 minutes of the day, guys. 2 trades, 2 puts. Stopped out on both those puts. So we're coming into that rejection zone. See if you can start to pull back at that orb. They want to make this a trap. Inside candle on the 5s. IWM is back below PML. Back below VWAP. See if we can go hammer here. If we can go hammer here, I'll be in the calls. Hammer off that orb. As long as that stays inside, it doesn't take out that 695.24. Retest those highs. Hold. If it slices and dices right through it, then there's nothing for me to do. Again, I don't want to be chasing at the very, very top of the day. So this is one thing I'm considering here. If some buyers can step in. See where that continue to push. I want the VIX to continue to push lower. Don't want it to go double bottom. If it continues to slide under that, daily open can be the way. If that 5-minute candle stays inside for the next 3 minutes, break on the other side. So keeping a close eye in this territory. Let the dust settle here. That is a wave test. Okay, I'll take it right there. I'm in the calls. See if you get that one more push back the upside. One more push back the upside. One more push would be great. I need to get above that 695.86. Want some follow through behind it. Follow through behind it would be great. And we need to take out those highs. So in this case, my risk would be below that 696.24. Okay. Need that level to hold. Still inside on the 5. So if you're waiting for that 5-minute candle close, you continue to wait. If you're in, manage accordingly. Qs need to take out those highs, 616.98. See if you can get above that 695.86. Go, go, go. So this basically needs to hold. This needs to hold. Can't get below here. Should lead us to 10-15%. Need that level to hold here. Down 8, down 9. Taking some time to play out. Okay, so that 5-minute candle has 1 minute left. 1 minute left. So during this 1 minute, we need to hold above 695.54. If we can't hold above it, we start working our way to this territory. Stopped out. Okay, see if you want more push here. Back the upside. 5 minutes still inside. If you're waiting for the conclusion of that 5-minute candle, still inside. Has about 40 seconds left. 40 seconds left. Okay, need some follow through and get above that 695.86. Follow through, get above that 695.86. Before getting below 695.24. 20 seconds. So if you're waiting for the break of this 5-minute candle, either end, your time is coming up here. either end of this 5-minute candle. And the next 8 seconds will be ready. Beautiful job, hero. Okay, now let's see if you get that break of that candle's high, 695.82. Continue push. Basically, 695.86 is what we need that break of. Okay, I want that 2-1-2 continuation in this case, no reversal. Taking forever here. So across the board, if the Qs can do it, if SPY can do it, that would be great. Did see upwards of 10%, 9% drawdown. See if the Qs can lift us here, propel us to the upside. Okay, let's see if we get a lift. Nice lift. We need to get above 695.86. That's that daily upside breaker. In this case, could have been a little more patient for a better entry rather than sit through all that drawdown. Maybe wait for that 5-minute breaker. All right, because we're just caught up in this back and forth, and this back and forth is eating that premium. It's eating that premium. And I don't like to sit in a position when it's not moving, like a sitting duck. So NC is basically 695.54, so no close below that. And now take off after that retest on the 5. Okay, I like how the Qs are starting to pump here. Okay, go, go, go. Go, go, go. If you did take this, manage accordingly. Up 12. There we go, up 30. I'm going to take a majority off right there at 30. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Who took that? If you stayed patient. That was 30, up 30. That was up to first TP 30. Got as high as 33. Now has room to PMH. I want us to hold above those highs. I guess that sitting and waiting paid off, but wasn't necessary for us to sit through all that. Could have just entered in this territory here. But overall, nice push there. Take a majority off at 30. I want us to hold above this territory here. No close back below 695.86. Because this 5-minute candle is looking good. We have room to PMH if we can hold above 695.86. Beautiful, beautiful pop the upside. If you took that, put a $sign in the chat. Okay. Go, go, go. We need to break that PMH. 696.50. We don't want to play that PMH back and forth game. All right. We need to continue push. Keep in mind we're in a rejection area. So in the rejection area we talked about in the pre-market, we're going to need some pullback into the rejection area to take it forward, to take it higher. So in this case, we need to come into PMH with aggression. Up 30. Okay, that was a nice pop. All right, if you had to sit through some back and forth here, but it was within our risk. Okay, that's a good time to scale out here. If you haven't already, that's up to you. It's up 30, 33. I already scaled it a majority at 30. As soon as this popped, it's thank you very much. See if this thing can continue to go. Okay, PMH is coming up. That's going to be our first obstacle. So 695.50, we need to get above that. I'm going to try to be patient with this 5-minute. I like how the Qs are going as well. Try to use this 5-minute as my guiding light. Maybe I'll use this as my NC. 696 as my NC. Okay. If it gets back below that, I'll close out. This is an area where we can see some pushback. That is the target territory. So hold above 696. I'll remain in. Okay. Still up 15 here. At 5 minutes, seeing some pushback. We are in that rejection territory, so we can't discount that. But we already scaled out a majority. Nice. Great job, Gary. Beautiful job, hero. 1K day under 30 minutes. You can't beat it. Weeble only letting me play IWM, can't play Spire. Why? That's very strange. Okay, so new 5-minute candle here. We need to continue what we've been doing. Get above those highs. So we get above those lows, get below those lows. We possibly start going back to downside. I already scaled out a majority. See if we get that continued push. My NC is 696. No close below there. We close below there. I'll cut and part ways. $696 close on the 1. So for this to continue, guys, we need to get above these highs up here. That's 696.44. So if you're in those runners, just draw out what your NC is, okay? NC, no close. You don't want to see a close below there. If it gets close below there, whatever the case may be, then you'll probably be out of the position. All right, with the runners. Best practice is to scale out already. We did see 30% plus. But you guys get to do whatever you want. Everyone manages their position differently. Okay, let's go. PMH is right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some pushback off that PMH. So as we get into PMH, right, I want us to flirt with PMH, have a full-out conversation. I want us to blast past PMH. One little bit of a red flag is we're seeing a nice little bounce on the VIX. Okay, so we want that candle on the VIX to flip back to being orange. We're seeing a little bit of pushback on the Qs. So this might not have enough fuel. We'll see. We'll give it until 696. $696 breaks below that. Got to get out of there. Break close below that. That's still give us double digits. Maybe 10 to 12%. Close below 696. We'll close out. Okay, we'll close out there. All right, so I gave it some time. Couldn't get that continued push. And we'll close out there. The runners there. So couldn't get that continued push. And if it wants to leave me behind, that's okay too. Right, but don't want to give all the runner profits away. Okay. It's a nice push here. If you're just joining, we did take the puts here. I would say this trade is better than this trade. This trade is better than this trade because the way we manage the risk here allowed us to be able to open to take this. Okay, so now we're starting to run out of fuel, and look at that, back to downside. So that was a great NC. Okay, that was a great NC. All right, so we can't be blinded and say, hey, you know what, we're up 30 plus percent. Not take that profit, got to take a majority off, and then give it some room, not too much room, and then give everything back up. Okay. All right. So far, 3 trades, 2 ideas in first shift, and it's a little bit beyond. Look at that drop, guys. Look at that. It came into this territory and it just fell off a cliff. The importance of taking profit. Do you guys see that? My goodness. That was a trap. Nasty trap there. Look at the Qs. Qs are back to VWAP. SPY's back to VWAP. We're back at that daily open. All right, so I'll let the price action settle going into second shift. Stairs up, elevator down, absolutely. We still have some trading left to do. But let it settle down. Let the price settle down. So we came into those highs. We're still within pre-market high, pre-market low. So that trampoline, brick wall type of scenario is playing out. All right, so what that scenario we laid out this morning, team, right? That brick wall, trampoline type of scenario. That's what's going on right now. You can see anytime it comes to this territory, we start to see that bounce. Anytime it comes to this territory here, we start to see that rejection. So if you're long going into it, you can be long, but you don't want to be long for long unless you get that convincing push back the upside. Okay, you can see it playing out right in front of us. So are we moving left? Are we moving up, down, or side to side? If we take the price action into consideration from 10:30 a.m. yesterday, since that time, okay, we've just been moving side to side. There's a snapshot of the action. So in this case, all right, when I was short earlier, I was short right here. Okay? So meaning kind of being short at support. What my line of thinking in that case was there wasn't a key level to really support the idea that I had in that particular area, was to see if there was a little bit more follow through into those lows. I was wrong. Okay, not wrong for long, cut it. And then end up going long here, okay, into the high of the day. So if these conditions persist, it's going to require us to be patient and wait for the outskirts, because we're still within prior day's range. Still within prior day's range, okay? There's my hammer on the 5. Just nailed the 5. Nailed the 5 contracts. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're talking about the one. Let me see the timestamp. 10:07. 10:07 would be 10:07. This one right here, a 10 o'clock candle. Vixen. So this one is called. So when you get the hammers, okay. So I'm going to give you something right here, guys. When you get the hammer candles, depends where you get the hammer candles. Okay, so when you get that hammer candle, regardless if it's red or green, whatever color you have it, if you get that hammer candle off of support, right, after a significant drop, okay, you're looking to take that reversal. Right, that would be kind of like a reversal type of setup. Significant drop, comes into support, hammer candle. We understand that. Hammer candle to the shooter candle or inverted hammer candle back to the downside. All right, we got some resistance. So these are the two that everyone is pretty familiar with. Okay, we got some resistance after what? After a push higher, we hit a ceiling, we started to drop back to downside. So these are the two reversal signals, right? The other one is there's a hammer candle, that's a momentum candle as well. So say for instance, we made the reversal already, we're continuing, okay? We're continuing to push higher, so the logic applies inversely as well. We'll continue to push higher, and then we get a hammer candle within the range. So this is known as a momentum hammer candle. So an inside hammer candle is like a momentum hammer candle. So rather than a reversal, right, those candles highs, if you get above, break those candles highs, you're taking this into that. You're taking that into the continued push higher. Okay, so there's the momentum hammer candles, and there's a reversal candle as well. So that's known as a single candlestick. Single candlestick. So you have multi-candlestick. You have 2 candlestick combinations, all sorts of combinations. Okay. So in this case right here, this is momentum hammer candle for continued push. Okay, this is a reversal hammer candle. This is a reversal inverted hammer. Some call it inverted hammer. I like to call it shooter if you know the shooting star pattern. Evening star, shooting star. Okay, you can just go and see and find those candles. And try to look for, not only look for the times it was right, look for the times it was wrong. All right, and see why it was wrong. So when you go back and look to do your back testing, okay, look for you already know when it was right. Look for the times it was wrong. Okay, look for the times it was wrong, and then now ask yourself, how do I identify the times it could potentially be wrong? What are the key markers? Okay. Good. The hammer, yes, the hammer for the continued push. That's what I played on. Good, that momentum candle. Done for the day. Thank you. Absolutely, Firefly. Okay, you took that nice last bounce, Kevin. Good catch. Well, great job of managing risk on the first two trades. The way you manage the risk on the first two trades allows it doesn't draw, because guess what? If you take this, you don't have any risk management. It's going to take maybe 6 trades, 7 trades, depending on how much damage to get out of it. But these two, maybe you're 1 trade, 2 trades away from break even, or even getting back to green. So that's the whole point of having that asymmetric risk reward. So if you have a stop loss that's very wide, your reward has to be, your targets have to be just as large, if not larger. If you're willing to sit through 60% stop loss, you can't take profit at 10%. You can't take profit at 20%. The math is not going to add up. The only way you can do that is if you have a very high win rate. As soon as your win rate drops and you have a wide stop and very small TPs, right, your account's going to get eaten alive. Okay, so I decided to come into this daily open, $6.95. Buyers come and pick it up. So a couple of things we can pick up here. We got this nice second touch of support. Inverse cup and handle. Nice continuation. Or just the traditional cup and handle. Shallow handle. A bit more liquidity. I can see that. Again, guys, continue to share your charts. Continue to share your charts. Let's get the likes up on YouTube, guys. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're a first-time viewer. Let us know where you're joining from. Long-time viewer. Take the next steps. Join our community. Access to live trading. Access all the features. We got the best group of traders. So it's not only me. Look at the risk management. They caught that last pop to the upside. $900, 30 minutes. 1% account. 1% of the account. So not the position. 1% of the whole account. Okay, 3 for 3 green. This is at 943. Okay, most of them caught that drop earlier. 30-minute wedge. That drop that took place off the open during the first 5 minutes. Okay. So tremendous job, guys. Let's go venturing into some individual tickers. If you have any ticker requests, let us know. So what I'll be waiting for is down here, team. I'll just try to stay clean from the action in between. Stay on the edges until proof otherwise. Right? I'm not confident in going long in this territory into this rejection zone. So we highlighted this in the pre-market with our team in detail. right? So we're not just coming into the day clueless and clicking buttons. We have to have some idea on what to do in whatever direction the market decides to go and whatever it decides to do. Okay? So technically, if you took the calls in this territory here, you're a winner. So this is where we're seeing tightening. No surprise we're seeing tightening. Why? Because look, guys, we made a massive, massive push. Okay, last Thursday, we were at 671. Okay, we got as low as 671. 3 trading days later, 2.5 trading days later, we teleport to 690. We teleport to 696.50. Okay, this is how quickly things can move. Look, boom, like nothing happened. 24-point push in 2.5 days. How do we get there? Okay, step 1, we gap up. So that gap alleviates the pressure on the bulls. And now at least they got a free 3 points. They put 3 points on the board. And then we have a nice expansion day here. We have a nice expansion day. We break out. And then we're able to get that close above that 50% retrace in the monthly, like we discussed last week. Monday opens up. We have that nice continuation. Tuesday, a little bit of back and forth in this territory. And that's where we are. Just like that. Can still be building the right shoulder. That's on the 30-minute hero. Yep, I can see that. And I can see it on the 1 as well. The inverse head and shoulder. Left, right off the orb, and then head off that 695 daily open. Okay, and we have that neckline going this way. We're going south. 1 minute, yep. So again, that'll be enough trades for me during first shift. Second shift, we'll look for some more opportunities. First shift in hindsight, right? Again, I do best when I take my entries near my key levels. This one, the only thing we had was a level, a 694, and the fact that we did drop. All right, so knowing that we're near that territory, we can't get that continued push to the downside, and we're kind of overextended. Got to keep it very tight and have that defined risk. Have that defined risk. What am I trying to capture? A potential push into the orb, into PML. So if this did play out, in the case where it did play out, I'm looking to scale out here and see if those runners can go into this territory. All right? In the case where it doesn't, gets above 694, builds momentum, gets stopped out. So every trade, that's how it should look. All right? Risk is defined. These are the 2 outcomes. Have a plan for if it does work in your favor, so you don't freeze. You don't take profit. And have a plan for when it doesn't go in your favor, what are you going to do? Are you just going to sit there and just hold? Or are you just going to throw the game plan or the risk management protocol out the window and start ego trading, or just say, hey, you know what, I got to stick to the plan? All right, that's the whole purpose of a trading plan. All right, we're 1 minute away from the conclusion of first shift. And with all the data this week, and if the data is weak, then now it's time to hit 700, 705, possibly. I can see that by the end of the week. Okay, I can see that by the end of the week. It's very possible for us to get into those highs. Very, very possible. Okay, how are we doing so far, strikers? Folks on YouTube, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Help us get to 3K subs. We're almost there. We're building organically. If you're a first-time viewer, let us know where you're joining from. Long-time viewers, take the next steps. Join our community. We go live every single day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. That's when we go live. We typically go until 11:30. We're shortening the live stream, right? And then we're going to go a little further in the private community. All right, so we're trying to keep the show to 2 hours, right? Don't want to take too much of your time. 2 hours, that's more than enough. Really, 1 hour is more than enough. Okay, we can really make the stream just 1 hour. Okay, we can really just keep it to 1 hour. And within this hour, there are opportunities you can capitalize off of. All right, the whole point is do more with less. All right, do more with less. So this hour, there's lots of things to look for. And if those things don't work in your favor, just manage that risk. So we're officially in second shift. We have not taken out PMH yet. We have not taken out PML. We have not taken out on SPY. We are above that daily upside breaker. So we are directional on the daily. Question now becomes, as we put pressure on this resistance, okay? We're testing this resistance. Can we flip it? Can we prove it otherwise? Because we are in the jaws of that all-time high rejection zone. So in this case, what I mean by that is I'm not interested in taking continuation longs. I'm interested in taking retests, pullbacks. Okay, so I'm not looking to take a high into a higher high. I'm looking to take a higher low. See what that break here. Did we get a break here? Put in the chat. Did we break here? Or did we fold? PMH is right there, pre-market high. Our first run up here in this territory got stifled a little before that push. Our last trade did see a nice double-digit gain. First two trades stopped out twice. Okay, we're above first shift highs. We're at PMH. So this is going to be key. The way we interact with these highs will determine a lot of things for the next hour. The way we interact with these highs will determine a lot of things for the next hour. Let me take this off. The waves on the 5 are still waving, but it's taking some time. So that inverse, left, head, right, depending on how you have your neckline, could be a break or on the verge of a break. If you have a horizontal neckline, didn't get that close yet. If you have a slightly slanted neckline, possibly got that break. So do we get above PMH? So the last runway, so we can break this into runways, okay? The SAT runway in this case is PMH, the weekly upside breaker. And then we have daily upside target into here. So really and truly, if you're trying to play that push into ATH, there's multiple ways to approach it. The last ditch effort is here. Okay, but it has a few targets to take out. All right, so ATH, guys, is within striking distance. Within striking distance. So very similar to the pattern that we saw yesterday. We're seeing same pattern as yesterday, right? What pattern is this, guys? If it plays out, if the pattern plays out to a T, what pattern is that? So that means if this support holds, go back and check out yesterday's action. Go back and check out yesterday's episode if you haven't already. Okay, so nice grab of first shift highs. Let's get the likes up, guys. If we can get 50 likes, we'll do a giveaway. Let's see how many likes we got. We got 40 plus people joining us on the chat. Okay, let's get the likes up, guys. We got 40 plus people, 13 likes. Let's get the likes up. Now, we're going to get back that daily upside breaker. IWM is a runaway train. IW. Okay, that looks. Okay. See, get that hold. Look how fast the IW is moving. IW has some juice behind it. Why is this IW chart? Oh, because it's on the 1. There we go. Okay, we're starting to see a nice push back to downside. Grabbing first shift highs. IW was on the 1. So that support needs to hold. If they want to play the game of holding the position for some time, I have to probably go further dated. Nice doji candle there. / shooter type of candle. All right, but look at the back and forth. Buy, sell, consolidate, sell, buy, sell. So let the dust settle. Okay, we got that. Some liquidity down there in the jaws of that inefficiency. That might even be right at the encroachment. All right, look at that. Look how close that is. Okay. And then we have the lows of the day. So these are going to be the areas to get where the opportunities are going to be. Of course, there's that potential reversal back to downside. In this area, this area. Okay, those are the 3 areas where you're going to build your ideas around. Everything in between, it's better to stay clean. Everything in between, better to stay clean. In this case, we already had that rejection. So the question is, if you're taking a short, using the 5, you get the break below that. You want to see if you can get a break below this as well. See if you can get a hold. If you can hold, it's gold. Start putting some pressure on that. Okay, I like that nice little break. See if you can hold. Keep in mind, if you're going short, you're going to go short in the face of the waves. This is countering the trend. Do we get a crack at the support, or do we get a bounce off that support? We're starting to see the Qs bounce off the first wave. We're starting to see SPY. Look how messy that 5-minute chart is on SPY. So we already grabbed these highs up here. So if you go back to that liquidity is right here. So right before that, we do have this very thin key zone, That 15-minute is also looking like a shooter. All right, it has about 5 minutes left. Let's take a look at the 4-hour real quick. The hourly did take out that 4-hour high. 4-hour, right, is currently engulfing. We have a 4-hour candle coming up shortly. 4-hour candle is currently bullish engulfing. If you can stay above this territory here. If we take that with us, what does that translate to in the lower time frames? That translates to What does this translate to? What does this translate to? Here, no surprise. So that translates to this. That translates to this territory here. Okay. So the 50% retrace on the hourly coincides on the 4 hour coincides with this key level there. So what you'll find is a lot of these things, right, when you start pairing these things together, they say the same thing. They're saying the same thing in different ways. All right, it's like what word am I looking for? Yeah, it's like similes. All right. So this level is saying the same thing as a 4 hour level, but just using a different word. But just using a different word. So 87% of the chat was bullish during the first hour. So now, second poll question of the day is, will we make an all-time high today? Yes or no? Will we make an all-time high today? Yes or no? How are we doing, strikers? I can see that bull flag on the 5 thesis. If you guys can see it, that's a good point. If you kind of use the body, you can see that bull flag. But what that ends up leading to is a nice symmetrical triangle. Always looking for both scenarios. If it breaks out or completely fails, yep. So our traders are always posting charts. We're looking real bullish. So now this support test that was being put under pressure is holding up. I mean, it's surviving. It's holding up. It's holding up. Right now, there's just a question of, right, if you're in a position, even if you're if it's bullish and you're long, right, sitting through the back and forth, sitting through the trade playing out. So you have to have the right contracts that allow for the right time horizon, with the right time horizon, to give you the best opportunity. All right, so it's almost like you have to pick your spots. So even if you're bullish or bearish, you have to pick your spots very effectively. Surviving barely, right? Just getting by. It's just getting by. POC 695.81. Qs did a peekaboo above PMH, starting to slide to the downside. Same thing as SPY. Nice little peekaboo above PMH. So we know there's a lot of selling pressure up here. So automatically coming into this territory, once we come into it once again, there can be an opportunity with some price action combinations to take it back lower, unless it's proven otherwise. If you get that strong break, it can be a retest point. 15-minute candle. We got 54 seconds left for this new 15-minute candle. So right here, this is what we're testing currently. This brick wall, top of that brick wall here. So it's under pressure, being put to the test. So for us to pass this test, we probably need to break at that 15-minute candle's high and then close above these wicks up here. For this to turn into a brick wall, we start to slide on the 15, drop back below this territory here. And we can start potentially slide back to downside. All right. But what's going to eat up those contracts is the grind. right? So our last trade here was grinding just for a few minutes. When you're in the grind, this seems like a long time, right? So even we were sitting through it for a long time, and we got that nice little pop, that rescue pop. Okay, but just imagine this grind here, longer. All right. If we can get a drop, sweep these lows, signs of life. Maybe they might want to come and grab that, fuel up, and then go. So let's take a look at the chat here. So let's see. So far, 100% of the people in the chat think we are going to make an all-time high today. That's on YouTube. So get your votes in. 100% of the chat. Okay, let's take a look at the betting markets. Currently, SPX is right at that 69.81. ES is at that 69.98. Just shy of that 7,000 level. 7,000 is going to be on watch on ES and XPX. Just because they're at 7,000, if they get to 7,000, it doesn't mean SPY needs to be at 700, right? So they can be one can be above 7,000, and SPY does not necessarily have to be above that 700. So ES is about to get above 7,000. So 7,000 would be a critical level on ES, 1 point away. So if we take a look at the prediction markets, okay, so there's a 53% chance before 11 a.m., guys, look. Where's the time? Before 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay, there is 99% chance, of course, we're above that. And let's see if we got that 7,000 level, 7,000 here. Less than 1% chance between now and 11 o'clock. They even got candlesticks and everything. So this is this is becoming very tradable, guys. I wonder if you can go intraday and draw some technicals. Okay, so it looks like every hour. So at 11 o'clock, this will reset. 11 o'clock, that will reset. %, chop, chop, chop. Past 45 minutes, 50 minutes, nothing but decay. Remember, with options, we are not really fighting against the contract price. We are fighting against time, 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself, right? I always say it's options trading is a war on multiple fronts. So we have to be right on the chart. We have to be right on, of course, the contract selection. We have to be right on the time as well. Right? So say, for instance, if you're right on an idea, but you hold all day and that idea plays out at 3:55 p.m. Eastern. Even though you're right, those contracts they're toast. Okay, we're starting to see some pressure here. Okay, keeping a close eye on that 15, inside on that 15. So within that range, a nice engulfing candle there across the Qs and SPY. So within this range, brick wall trampoline the past 2 days, we're in this range now internally. So intraday now we're range bound here as well. So you can see this range within a range. Okay, trading the range will drive you deranged, okay? You'll become deranged if you trade the range the wrong way. Deranged. So surprisingly, 100% in the chat All-time highs today. So let's get the likes up, guys. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. 3 trades so far. 2 stopped out. 1 worked in our favor. Okay, so who can guess the price for 11:30? What price do you think SPY is going to be at 11:30? If you can guess it on YouTube, we'll do a membership giveaway. Guess your prices by 11:30. And we'll look to wrap up the stream 11:30, 11:45-ish. So by the time we wrap up the stream, what price will SPY be? 2 decimal places. What price will SPY be? Guess the price. We used to do guess the close. $697.50. PayPal CRM. Okay, let me take a look at those. Okay, CRM. It does look nice. What do we see on CRM? Strikers. So Floyd is providing some nice tickers. If you guys have any tickers, drop your tickers in the chat. I do see the Discord comments before Google Meets, so I'll try to do a better job on being on top of Google Meets. CRM, we'll see how that plays out. Traditionally, this can lead to a breakdown if this support, this resistance leads to lower highs, and then there's pressure on the support. But if this support can hold, it can also lead to a nice continued push. So by the time it comes into this resistance, you want to see a breakaway. And when that breakaway takes place, it always opens up the door, right? For that pause, right? Exhale, inhale, and a continued exhale. Now PYPO. PayPal. Nice move on PayPal as well. PayPal's up nicely. We did see PayPal take out those highs. Right. So PayPal out the gate went from 40.75 spiked to 42.28. That's a pretty big move on PayPal. So Lisa, you caught that last trade. Good. And if this is the only trade you take, or say if you're stopped out, if you're green, if you're red, whatever it is, right? That might be as good as it gets. Okay, we're entering the chop window early today, meaning we typically enter that chop window after second shift, but we're starting to enter the chop window as soon as you got the break above these highs, and we start to reject off that PMH. $696.50. So let me put those levels here. So guess your closing price. $697.50. $697.50. We got Gary up here. Let's make it fun. Okay. That would be nice. If it gets up there, that'd be nice. So if it does get up there, there's a couple of things we can do to take advantage of it, right? We can take the clear break of this resistance. That opens up the door. We have that $696.50. Slightly below that. $696.50. Right there at that PMH. For thesis. The price is right outside $1. Chop, chop, chop. Don't get chopped up. Being on the sidelines is a win. Okay, is a win. We're putting some pressure on the waves here. Putting some pressure on the waves. You can see here. Somewhat of a, we got that situation going on. QQQ. Mags. MU gets above the orb. Traps above the orb. Starts slicing back to the downside. Dump, pump, dump. So a nice zigzag on zig on MU. Robinhood. Oh, Robinhood does a nice bounce off that PMH. PMH and VWAP on Robinhood. Look out for that. Okay, we're starting to crack here. PMH and VWAP being put to the test. Ideally, in this case, you want the markets to be headed north. Okay, now we're below that 15-minute breaker. Let's focus back on SPY. 15-minute breaker. So we've triggered the 15, and we're starting to slide. If we can't hold that daily open, right, we can't get a response in this territory back the upside, but if we can't hold it, we can start to see that slice back into those lows. Back into those lows, we're starting to break down. We got this support, right? We bounce off that support, and now we've made that lower low, and now we're kind of moving sideways. And now, questions: can we break out of this sideways range? Bigger picture, brick wall held up as resistance. Okay. Now the question is: does it want to continue to pursue trampoline? So in that pursuit, that opens up the window to go short. But now the question becomes: how do I want to enter those shorts into that territory? Okay, so first area of contention, we have that daily open, we have that 695. That also coincides with that 4-hour 50% retrace. The hourly starting to get some pushback. Okay, look at the hourly. The hourly has 2 minutes left. So if the hourly candle cracks below these lows, it becomes directional. We are getting some pushback. This is the equilibrium on the 4-hour. Keep in mind, the 4 hours on the verge of going engulfing. Okay, the 4 hours on the verge of going engulfing. It has gone engulfing, but now the question is: does it go in force? Meaning, does the close of that candle get above this candle's high? All right, it already took out the lows. Now it wants to take out those highs. Okay, that's the question. Now we drop down to the hourly. That's what we're seeing. Nice bounce on SPY. Right off of that 4-hour 50% retrace territory. You see that aggressive bounce. So if you take this short from 695.37, this is your first, that's your window to operate. Okay, that's about 35 cents. Look at that 5-minute candle on SPY. Now, do we have enough fuel? Okay. Now, do we have enough fuel to push? We still didn't grab this liquidity here. All right. Now, do we have enough fuel becomes a question. We can fall back below 695.36. We potentially have some enforcement back to downside. See if we get at least a break below that VWAP. Again, there's nothing that I love. There's nothing that I love here. That 15-minute did trigger that low. Now the 15-minute, we have a new 15-minute candle. We have a new hourly candle. If we're going to break below that 15-minute candle's low, that's going to include us breaking below VWAP. So if the same amount of buyers don't step in here, on the next test, that opens up the floodgate into these lows. And if there's no buyers there, that sends us all the way to potentially PML. And to these lows, of course, but that PML is up next. So that might be a dash from PMH to PML. I think we saw this profile 2 weeks ago. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. We took out that PMH. We spent a lot of time, and we eventually made a dash to PML. If you're with the bullish line of thinking, right? Since all the waves are waving, all the waves are still green. We're above the VWAP on the Qs on IWM. See if you can get a break above that 5-minute candles high. In the midst of this back and forth. Okay. 1 for 3 green, very small red, almost break even due to risk management, done for the day. Beautiful. So wrong 2 times, right once, almost break even. And that is just risk management. That's a tremendous job. Tremendous job. So what are we thinking, guys? Folks on YouTube, strikers, what are we thinking here? I'm putting my house on it. On what? SPX on $20 away from 7,000. That's where the major call is sitting. Yeah, ES got close to 7,000. Might have peaked above it. Right? But it's back at that 690, 69.95. SPX back in the 70s. Slow grind. So no trades in second shift yet. So if you're still in the position for that 15-minute candle break, I failed to hold enforcement. See if you can get back below 695.36. This should be red. But you see how long it's playing out, how long it's taking? 693. If not, might have to take the 1DTs and let this thing play out. Let it marinate. To play that brick wall trampoline type of scenario. Take a look at the 1DTs. Okay, VWAP under pressure. VWAP closely coincides with this territory here. So it's this prime area that's kind of been the trampoline. And this primary area has the brick wall. The proverbial brick wall and trampoline until proved otherwise. Okay. So this will be proven otherwise if you can get below these lows, below this low here, and start trading below it, slice under it. That would be the best scenario to capitalize off of the current movement internal to this brick wall, trampoline on the higher time for intraday higher time frame. So what that means is if we can get sliced right through these lows, hold below those lows, okay, get that continued push lower, that can open up the door to the downside. So everything in this territory going short into here, I would consider that from my lens and kind of like front running. So you're playing what's not going on. You're playing what could potentially take place. Okay? Red days are a given. They're just the cost in doing business, but your risk management will be everything in determining your success, long-term profitability, 100%. Red days are not going to go away. They're not going to go away. So the better you get at managing those red days, big red days, eventually you want those big red days to turn to small red days. Right? And you want to see if those red days can start to turn to break-even days. Right? And over time, you will start significantly reducing the frequency of those massive, massive red days. There are ways to avoid that. If we can wick out of there, aggressively, and that face that selling pressure, so we can take a quick bounce. If we close below VWAP, there's nothing there. Just a reaction off that level. Everything's going south. We're seeing some synchronized selling. Synchronized selling across the board. If you're waiting for that 694.70 break, almost there. If we can go hammer here, I might take a stab at the calls back the upside. If we can hold as a brick wall. Reclaim back above that 695, 694.95. If it continues to sell off, then we'll be proven otherwise. It is below VWAP. It is below all those levels. Okay, I need that hammer combo. Reclaim that daily open. Start to go here, get back above 695. So you get that continued push. VWAP is in the way as well, 695.16. We are below VWAP on the 5. On SPY and the Qs. So you get that nice little bounce. Okay. I'll take it right there. And my risk will be close back below these lows. Close below these lows. I'm in the calls here. Up 8. TP where you need to. See if you can get a reclaim back above VWAP. Up 10. See if that continue push. That might be that relief bop we get. See if we get one more double-digit push. Going a little further today to one out the money here. Did see 10. That might have been that pop. That VWAP's too strong. If we close below this territory here, we'll get stopped out. Have to respect that selling pressure. So if you're able to extract double out of that quick scalp, great job. If you didn't take it, that's also fine. If we break below those lows, then I got to get out of there. Because that rejection off that VWAP was ugly. So you get one ditched effort to get that bounce. If not, can you get stopped out here? Okay, stopped out there. Okay. So out of the calls there. Did see 11% pop. Look at that. All right. As soon as I stop out, it starts to bounce. So grab these lows now. Okay. If it has enough fuel, gets above 695, I can be convinced. But this might be a last ditch effort by the bulls. Let's see if they can convince me to go back to the upside. Did see 10, could have done a better job quickly taking that, but didn't give me enough time. Sometimes it doesn't give you enough time. Sometimes you just don't have enough time to take those profits. Stopped out there. And we're back below VWAP, so the Qs are back above VWAP. Qs are back above VWAP. Okay, see if we can get back above 695 or get back below these lows. All right, we are getting involved in an area we want to get involved. Meaning, we talked about the 3 areas to get involved. If you're waiting for that 5-minute candle, 3 minutes left. Three areas to get involved. Right, this is one of the 3. Of course, one is up here for the rejection. And one is right there for the bounce or the retrace, reject once it breaks below it. Okay, so you get some follow through behind that. Okay, I want to see if we get a nice hold above it. 5-minute candle. VWAP, we're still under VWAP, so that can give us some issues as well. So keep that in mind. 695.15 is that VWAP. If you didn't get stopped out, you're golden. Okay, I'll take it right there. I'm back in. I didn't get the best fill here. Second attempt, same setup. Okay, I want that continued push. 10-15%. 5-minute candle, 2 minutes left. Second attempt. See if they continue push here. We need to get back above 695 and start to go. Get back above 695, start to go. Okay, if I do get a double-digit opportunity, this time I'll look to take advantage. The last one took place under a minute. Okay, go, go, go. So I want some follow-through, no wicks. Want some follow-through behind that move, no wicks. No wicks. Okay, see if I continue to push. VWAP is right there, so we need to get above 695.15. 695.15, we need to get above it. Have VWAP on the other chart. But VWAP is right there, so we need to get above that. Okay. Did see a little bit of green, but getting a lot of pushback here. If the Qs can stay above VWAP, that would be great. 1 minute left on this 5-minute candle. Okay, see if we can at least last for just another 30 seconds in this territory. VWAP giving us some hard time. All right. So we got to respect that we can get that continued push back above VWAP. What does give us a little bit of encouragement is the fact that the Qs did get above VWAP. See if SPY can join. See if SPY can join. If it can, if it starts to go south, I'll just close out. Okay. Down 6. Okay, I'm gonna close it right there at 10. All right, gave it 2 attempts, 2 stop outs. Just can't seem to find a groove today. Right, so stopped out here twice, and it's just the candles are just very set, just easily getting shaken out. So far, how many trades? We did get stopped out 4 times. One worked in our favor. Okay, but I like that stop out. Because now look what's going on. We're getting some aggressive action. Okay. So 2 trades in second shift, 2 stop outs. 2 trades, 2 stop outs. 3 trades in first. Maybe I have one more trade left, and that's it. But you see how it came and grabbed those lows? So keep a close eye on that 695. Give me 1 second. Okay, back. Does this warrant a third attempt? After grabbing those lows? Okay, it's starting to go here, finally. Right, that follow through is it's just hit or miss on the entry. Hit or miss on the entry. It can be involved in a stop out. Maybe could have been a little wider. Widen the stop, go further dated. Okay, every day presents new opportunities. 100%, and now it's starting to go. I like that 5-minute candle engulfer. I like that engulfing candle on the 5. Okay. I like that engulfing candle. So in this case, the idea played out, but execution could have been better. Okay, so is there some follow through behind that move is the question. And this could lead all the way back to these highs up here, with the only thing between us and those highs is, of course, that daily upside breaker in 690, 696. In the meantime, see if we can get above VWAP 695.14. Get above VWAP. That'd be great. Okay, I'll take one more trade. One more trade and be done. That'll be trade number 5. Okay. It's going to be related to this idea here. Same thing. Same thing. See, you can get a close back above VWAP. Qs are starting to go. Qs are starting to go. Like how the VIX is starting to go south here. IW, breakout in IW. Okay, if you take a look at the 5, this is the other area to get involved. All right, so if that 5-minute candle can get above that prior candle's high, I'll look to take it back the upside. POC's right there. Close above POC, close above VWAP. That'd be great. Okay. Look at that back and forth, guys. A lot of shake and bake in this territory. A lot of shake and bake. Hit or miss from the standpoint of if you're in it, you can get that nice spike. If you can extract profits, that's great, but don't discount the fact that you still have to manage risk. That 5-minute candle ended up going doji. And the 15 looks like it still wants to go south. Okay. That 15 looks like it wants to go south. Okay. Can you recommend a good, reliable prop firm? I think you can try any of the ones out there. I don't have any recommendations. I did do a prop firm challenge on live last time. Took a couple of attempts to pass, but ended up blowing the passed account. But if you're going to do prop firms, just go with the most common ones. Maybe do a YouTube search, but just know that the space you're getting into, and just play the game the right way, you should be okay. Inverse head and shoulder possibly. Left head right. We're on the verge of third shift. So usually I take anywhere from 3 to 5 trades. If I look back, all right, and if I rate the trades, I can rate this as good risk management. But of course, as in hindsight, this entry here maybe could have waited for a key level. But regardless, if I'm in a position, all I can do is manage that risk. Okay, this 15-minute is giving us the read. 15 minutes giving us the read to the downside. Okay. Okay, now we're back below that area. Back below the area. The 15-minute blocks out a lot of that noise. 5, 10, 15 minutes of selling, 6 minutes left, about to be 15-minute candles. Okay. The thing is, we can just get a reclaim out of nowhere as well. Very erratic action. So in this case, if you're green from first shift, second shift, you really have to pick your spots. Going into third shift, I wait until third shift. I want to see how we interact with these lows. If it's going to be a dash all the way to PML, I'll probably take that dash into PML. All right, because we took out that PMH. We broke below this territory. We're slicing right under it. We're selling off. We gave up VWAP. So that dash to PML basically leads us to here. Okay, that leads us all the way down, all the way down to here. All right, if you guys have recommendations for prop firms in the Discord, let me know what your recommendations are. All right, just only recommend it if you got a payout from them. All right, only recommend the ones you actually got a payout and you went through the whole process. If you haven't already, just hold off on the recommendation. So we got the PMH, the PMH. See if it wants to dash the PML. Only thing standing in between us and PML is this territory here. So now we haven't really created that separation away from this territory here. The one thing is we're not getting that consistent follow through. We're moving, but after an extended period of time. After an extended period of time. The hourly is directional to the downside. Might have to take that next little breakdown on the 5, on the 1. All right, in pursuit of these lows and so on and so forth. So we have not grabbed second shift's lows yet. We did grab first shift highs. We're getting lower, 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 lower. So for us to shift that structure, we need to knock out those highs. And VWAP is right there. So we're back to VWAP like we never left. Getting close to VWAP. Again, guys, make sure to like the video on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. That 5-minute hammer high is right at that 695.07. So it's going to be associated with this territory here. So this territory encompasses a lot of things. It encompasses VWAP. It encompasses that 5-minute breaker. It encompasses that daily open. It encompasses this resistance. So a lot of things are tied to that territory there. All right? So we can't get a reaction out that territory. So currently on the 1, we're using this nice little ramp on to get that push. If we get a 1-minute candlestick combination back to downside, that 15 minutes trying to shape up into a shooter, into a hammer, I'll take it to the downside. Okay, that 1-minute trend, see if I can capitalize off of that, into those lows. Risk being the break of that downward compression, risk being a break of that resistance, and a reclaim of 695 in VWAP. Okay, so you get that break below these lows. I'm going to go a little further today to use less size here. See if I can sit through a little bit more. And this will be my last trade of the day. Okay. Last trade of the day. VWAP is right there. VWAP is right at that 695.12 critical juncture. So if you think this is going to break, you need to be existing in this territory if you're not in yet. All right, you're going to see that clear break above it until you push. If you're looking for that inverse head and shoulder, maybe you're waiting for that right shoulder formation. Neckline being these highs there. If you're waiting for market structure shift, we have not shifted structure yet. So a lot of things in this area. A lot of things. If you're waiting for the 1-minute push to the downside, not yet. We have not triggered those lows yet. So if we can trigger those lows on the 1, that turns into a 1-minute engulfing candle. The 15 is starting to shape up, 34 seconds left. 5-minute did reverse, fell into hold enforcement. 1-minute breaks below these lows. Risk being VWAP. You can see that slide back to downside, retrace, reject. Pursuing those lows at 694.10. Okay. Let that 1-minute candle close here, and I'll take it to the downside off of that break. Using VWAP as my risk. Using that VWAP as my risk to get that continued push, and I'll take it right there. Okay, I'm in the puts here. In the puts, see if we get to continue to push the downside on those puts. If you did take the puts, manage accordingly, TP where you need to. Okay. Now it's going to be very firm. I want to hold below this territory. Did see 6, did see 7. Contracts are moving nicely. So you get some follow through behind it. And this will be my last trade of the day. Last trade of the day. This one did provide us a double digit, but it happened very quickly. See, you get some follow through to the downside. Continue to slide. That'd be great. I like how the Qs are starting to slide. Go, go, go. Okay, see that continued slide. All right. At least into second shift's lows. New shift here. This trade is basically a second shift trade. That's right at the very end of second shift. Okay, see if that continued slide. So at least stay below these lows. Below those lows, that'd be great. And you continue to push the downside. This 5-minute candle, as long as this 5-minute candle doesn't take out those highs, I want it to start to go to the downside. And of course, I don't want these highs to get violated and get a breakout. All right, so that's the one thing that I don't want to see. A breakout of those highs. That resistance to break. Okay. Okay, see if those waves can hold up. See if those waves can hold up. Okay, see if those waves can hold up. It looks like it wants to take off back the upside. Right, but what I'm seeing here is if we can possibly come grab these lows, there might be some liquidity there for it to take. And that can maybe drive this position to double digits. Okay, so this is right here. Don't want this area to get taken out. Okay. See, one more push to the downside. The Qs are trying to go hammer here. On the 5, IWM is just continuing to push. We're inside on R5 on SPY. We're inside on R5 on SPY. See if we get some follow through and clean moves. Okay, no close back above 694.95 at daily open. All right, so to adjust, to be able to sit in this position, going a little further dated, smaller size, to sit through the back and forth. And this just goes to show you, if you can get your work done early, guys, early bird really gets the worm. Right? Of course, the risk in trading is, the risk is in the front end, but that's also where the reward is. All right? During first shift, if you can lock in and focus on first shift, you can really capitalize off those opportunities. Or else you're going to have to be in a position and sit through it a little bit. Okay, there we go. Up 11. If you did take that, manage accordingly, TP where you need to. Again, it's wicking so fast, I don't even have enough time to TP. All right? I don't have enough time to, because these wicks. So saw 11 again. Okay, see, get that continued push. We need to break below that 5-minute candles low. 5-minute candles low. There's 15-minute candles inside. If you did TP, great. I tried to TP. But these wicks. Second time that happened. So try to TP there. Wicks. No TP available. Same thing here. 11%. Get wicked out. Right, I'm not a big fan of that, right? If it closes back above 694.95, I got to get out. Okay, I got to get out there. So I'm out there. So 2 trades. 1 trade here stopped out. Did see 11. Couldn't TP quick enough. And that'll be my last trade. So last 3 trades, stop outs. So even though I did see green, I'm not a big fan of holding a position, letting it go from green to red. It's just an indictment of how quickly things are moving. All right, so shot here, back above it. Did see a little bit of green, gave back that green. Same thing, eventually gets stopped out again, and same thing happens again. So I'm not going to try to trade some more, try to get anything back, and I'll call it a day here. So I really couldn't really find my groove today. The only thing that did work was here. Okay. And I probably don't have any more intentions to try to continue to trade. Any questions, guys? Any questions on YouTube? Strikers, any questions? Let me know. If not, we'll look to wrap up here shortly. It's just a back and forth that's a killer. The back and forth is a killer. You can make an argument for this. Possibly you can make an argument for that, but the back and forth. So again, if you can get the work done first shift, capitalize off these opportunities, right? Then you're tasked with doing less work here. So even with these candles, guys, even with these candles, even though we're sliding to the downside, right? We're not getting that clean move. Yesterday, look at the action yesterday. Was cleaner. Today, not the same. A lot of contention on both sides. Okay, a lot of contention on both sides. And I don't like to go from green to red. Right? And that happened 2 times because of the back and forth. Okay? So tomorrow we'll look to bounce back. We'll see what the action provides. We'll look to capitalize off the opportunities during that first hour if this kind of similar action takes place, in which we're just chopping around a little earlier during the day. Then just got to be very sharp during that first hour. All right, so tomorrow, the goal becomes bouncing back. And all 3 of the trades, I do like how I manage all of these stop outs. I do like how I manage the risk. In this case, got to be a little faster in taking profit. Got to be a little faster in taking profit there. All right, but despite that, still not allowing the trade to get too out of hand. All right, so tomorrow will be the bounce back. Tomorrow will be the bounce back. Can you please check Tesla? Yes, we'll take a look at some tickers. And this thing can go either way, right? It can just explode back up. It can drop. The hourly is directional to the downside, failing to hold that enforcement. But just the back and forth is what takes up a lot of that capital. So let's take a look at some tickers, and we'll look to wrap up here. Okay, so tickers. It's that back of that trampoline brick wall. Right, that game, just paying close, more sticking more to the game plan. Would have served me a little better. Okay, so now, tickers, MU 672, down 2%. MU's in the support territory. MU's actually about to go directional to the downside on the weekly. Robinhood, flat on the day, nice bounce yesterday to kick off the week. Off those lows, it's above that 50% retrace of the week. See if you get that continued push. Google down 1.95%, close to 2%. Apple flat. So Apple did come to resistance yesterday, rejected, chopped around prior day, a couple of days, and now Apple is trading right at that 273. Keep a close eye on 270. Walmart. Okay, another leg to the downside on the pullback. So Walmart is now trading inside. So that rotation story is going to be critical on Walmart. Do you guys see somewhat of a head and shoulder on Walmart potentially setting up? Okay, within here, this window here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Neckline these lows for potential pullback on Walmart after making all-time highs. Meta is sitting right at that 6, slightly above that 670. JPM 320. Netflix did get a nice bounce today on Netflix. Right, it dropped yesterday, came back into that 80 psychological level, bounced, and today continues to push. Netflix is still inside on the week. AMD, flat down AMD. Tesla's back above that 320, 420, not 320. Yesterday we talked about Tesla, how it's in this territory, and it can potentially pursue the upper end of that territory. And now Tesla is on the verge of getting above these highs and continue to accelerate and potentially trigger that weekly upside breaker prior week's highs at 285.55. Nvidia, flat, trading right below that 190. Nvidia flat, came into resistance, rejected. But Nvidia, what's encouraging on Nvidia is direction on the weekly for the first time in a long time. So Nvidia, 50% bounce on Nvidia. M50 bounce on Nvidia. We'll be on watch going into tomorrow. Broadcom is starting to go as well. Broadcom broke above this major resistance. So these names can start being on watch for late day today and going into tomorrow. Now SPY is starting to make a nice little push. Amazon. Okay, Amazon not doing much. Palantir did lead the way yesterday. It had that nice little pump, came into that monthly upside breaker, triggered it, and now it's starting to fade. So let's see where Palantir starts to go. Palantir did come into this major support to resistance territory and starting to fade. So does Palantir want to reset and go all the way back into these lows? SPY guys, be careful with SPY. Okay, these kind of conditions can easily lead you to overtrade. All right, so just do whatever you can to survive. As far as biggest movers during the day, Schwab is down 6%. HIMS another 5%. Intel down 5%. SNDK down 4%. OKLO down 3%. MU down 3%. Morgan Stanley down 3%. Kroger down. LRCX down. Amgen down. CRWV down. Google down. Biggest winners. Spotify did report earnings yesterday. Double beat, up 18%. This is a Marriott. Miss on earnings, beat on revenue. Nice push, up 9%. Shopify has earnings coming up on, I believe, the 11th. On the 11th, so tomorrow. mRNA, Affirm. Nice break on Affirm. 212. TTD, Lulu, ARM, Rivian, SE, Dow, UPST, Snow. UPST, a COVID name, a classic COVID name if you guys recall, is potentially retesting. So again, UPST is on the software side of things. Finance, retail, software kind of name there. UPST, see if you can go hammer off that weekly upside breaker. Okay, see if you can go hammer right off those highs. All right, that 40 level would be critical. Okay. All the way into 40. Let's stretch this out to 40. Right, that's a little wide, but we'll just do this because the key level is there. So UPST, if you can go hammer, see if there's some follow behind it. If we do the 50-50, above that 50-50. So UPST, keep an eye on UPST for that nice little 15-minute sell-off after a nice push to the upside, key level bounce, price action combo. It's actually taking place right now. As we're talking, it's actually taking place. All right. Snow, Duolingo, Toast, some of these smaller names. That brings us up to speed. That should bring us up to speed. Again, you can see SPY rejects one more time and it finally takes off. In the grand scheme of things, we're here. In the grand scheme of things, we're here. All right, didn't even have enough fuel to get to all the way to these lows. All right, so now we're back in the middle. In the jaws that runway, back in this brick wall trampoline scenario. All right, so could have exercised a little patience in hindsight. Kind of participating in the middle. Okay. And that basically wraps up the show, guys. Any questions? Any questions? We'll do an end of the stream poll. The wicks were fast, too hard to catch and shake off. Chopping too much today. Done for the day. It looks like pumped and fake out. Yeah, exactly, guys. So make sure tomorrow there'll be more opportunities. Hopefully tomorrow market will be normal. 100%. 6,984 short entry. I was 691.50. I was break even. I needed 30 cents to break even, but lost sideways quickly. Level TOG, fourth wave. VWAP, 22 cents. ROI minus 66. Battle between bulls and bears to determine where price goes 100%. So we don't want to get caught up in the middle, right? We want to, when the two giants are fighting, when the bulls are and the bears, it's like, in a long time ago in the cartoons, when there's a fight, there's like a cloud, like a smoky cloud, and you see arms, legs, all sorts of things going on when they're fighting in the cartoon. It's the same thing. Bulls and bears are doing that right now. So we don't want to throw ourselves in that equation. We want to let them finish the fighting. All right? Whenever they're doing that, when they're fighting, right, we want to wait and see who the winner is and go with the winner. Okay? Any questions on YouTube, guys? Any questions? Any questions, let us know. So Tesla, did check Tesla. All right. So tomorrow's going to be interesting. Tomorrow, so red day today. Tomorrow is going to be a bounce back day. Same thing takes place. All right. Same thing takes place. We'll look for the best setups. Goal becomes to get to the green. With this week, we still have a lot of action left in this week. Tomorrow's midweek. A lot of action left. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions? If you are red, don't do more damage. Okay. Make sure it's manageable red, something you can come back with one or two trades. If you're green, phenomenal job. Your job becomes don't give anything back. Okay, if you're green, your job becomes don't give anything back. All right, poll is up. Look at that. See, you get that pump fake and then it drops. All right. That's going to be your main goal, to be disciplined, guys, and just get out of the way. When the bulls and the bears are aggressively fighting, get out of the way. So loss, win, loss. So again, easily recoverable. We can continue to sit here. I can continue to trade, but that's something. I give it 5 shots. If it doesn't work within 5 shots, then that's pretty much it. I like that you write your trades in a journal and then chat. It's honest, 100%. He does. Kevin does a great job of putting everything down really well. And if I have to go back, right, maybe, of course, hindsight, maybe I got a little too carried away in this area. So the story has been getting a little carried away. Meaning, of course, we know where we are. The ideal areas to participate are here and there. We're on our way to the downside. All right, so the best way to do that is maybe go further dated. And that's probably the adjustment I'll make next time. So if we're in between pursuing an area and we're already moving and we're already in motion, it might be in my best interest to go further dated and just let it cook. Okay, rather than deploying the zeros, because the zeros are great for momentum, for that continued push with follow through. That's what they're great for. They're terrible for no follow through. Okay, so contract selection is going to be critical. Now look at the longs that are trapped up here. All right, look at the longs that are trapped up here. 100%. Absolutely, Justin. Again, guys, if you're interested in joining our community, smartactiontrade.com. Go to the community tab. You have access to all the resources. Striker Apex, Striker Lite, you get access to the game plan, post-market recap, our monthly chat. You have access to all my my charts on TradingView, automated technicals. So all the technicals are done for you. You have access to all the resources in the Discord. If you're interested in the Apex allows you to take advantage of the courses, allows you to take advantage of the delay-free, ad-free stream, allows you to take advantage of the pre-market prep stream. We go over our game plan. I take some chart requests. And, of course, you have access to our community as well. If you're looking to level up, take advantage of the yearly 12-month access, bootcamp ticket, as well as coaching call included, all for one payment, 12-month access. All right, so there's multiple ways to get involved. And make sure to join, take advantage of the Feb trial. Use the code TRIAL30. Okay? Any questions on YouTube? Any questions, guys? If no questions, main thing is, guys, if you're trading, wherever you are, exercise, not discipline, will be critical. Being disciplined, not to engage, not to make things back up. Tomorrow will be a new day. Okay? On that note, guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, and God bless each one of you.
Tired of wasting hours staring at charts, over-analyzing trades, and still ending the day with inconsistent results? You're not alone. That's exactly why the Spy Strikers Trading Mentorship Discord community was created. Here, you can trade just one ticker for 1 hour and make strides towards consistent results. Join the Spy Strikers community and get daily live trading, clear pre-market game plans with key levels and high probability buy and sell zones, over 4 hours of delay-free, ad-free live trading and training, plus high win rate trade alerts, automated technicals that simplify charts, and full access to my strategies and indicators. This isn't a signal service. It's a community focused on process over profits, giving you all the resources, guidance, and training to help you succeed. You'll also get a full watch list, 1,500 plus hours of live trading videos, courses, an educational library, ebooks, and dedicated support. Stop guessing. Start trading with confidence. Become a Spy Striker today, and take your trading to the next level. Tired of wasting hours staring at charts, over-analyzing trades, and still ending the day with inconsistent results? You're not alone. That's exactly why the Spy Strikers Trading Mentorship Discord community was created. Here, you can